Okay, so you said you had a question. What's the question?
I do have a question. Okay. So, and anybody who's listening, if you do not know this band and you don't care, that's not the point. The point is not the band. Okay. It's not them. It's a real question about creativity and spirituality.
Ooh.
Because there are, for years, there have been stories, for what it's worth, of various people who became successful musicians that maybe they were dabbling in something, or maybe they were, they had a little something here. And it goes everything from stuff that to you and I would be like, yeah, she has an altar. Yeah, she lit some candles. So, but, but to other people saying that their whole, like, so-and-so became famous, and it wasn't just the fame. They were suddenly not hanging around anybody they knew, and they were secretive with this group, and they were, and all this stuff that can happen. So I had that in the back of my head when I heard about Sleep Token. And but this was really interesting to me. This is more interesting than even just that, because for anybody who doesn't know, the lead singer of there we go.
I'm trying to fix it. There we go.
The lead singer of Sleep Token is known as Vessel, and he's he has a real name. He tries to keep anonymity, so I'm not going to use his real name. If you are all in that world, you'll run across it eventually, but I'm not going there. All right. Basically, he was a very, very talented musician, and he even started a small group with, I guess, his girlfriend at the time or something. But whatever that background is, they didn't have huge success. He says what happened was he went to sleep one night and he had a dream.
Oh boy.
And this entity came to him and had this really long, convoluted name. And so he decided to just call him Sleep, because he'd been asleep when it happened. And there was this being around this, the feeling of this, really, it felt really good, but it got really complicated as well.
Oh, interesting.
And he was inspired by it. And so he wears a mask, and he has made all kind of music, and the whole band, they all keep their faces covered, and the other members, they actually took on numbers. So it's nice. And they do it in Roman numerals. So 4 is, the fans just call him IV.
Wow.
Anyway, so they all wear masks. The drummer's on Drumeo. He went on Drumeo and is amazing. So there's this great music. You can listen to all these different things, and you get the normal kinds of relationship songs, but you also get songs where he probably is talking about this spiritual relationship, and how it's helped him, it's given him so much, but at the same time, there's one line of all the music that they've done, he's done, because he does like everything on the album.
Oh, wow.
Except the drumming. But there's one line in two things. One line was something about having a direct line to Mount Olympus. I mean, he wasn't literally talking about Olympus, but he was talking about having this line right there. And there was another one, I can't remember. Forgive me, I'm not going to remember it exactly, but it was basically, the line was like, it implied that, like, we're going somewhere, or we're going to meet your family, or we're going to do whatever. Okay, I'll keep the crazy down to a minimum. I'll keep my mouth shut I'll keep the crazy talk down to a minimum.
Interesting.
So it's amazing stuff. And The music is staggeringly good. He was an excellent musician to begin with. So I was just wondering if you could pick up on anything about this, or if you want time, if you're like, look, I need to
No, I can look at it
talk
now.
about this. Okay. But it's called Sleep Token because every song is like an offering. And the concerts are called worship.
Oh, wow.
And that's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Solo Adventure Together. My Past is a Holy Book, a call from Olympus, ringing off the hook. Thank you. That was it. Amazing lyrics. Thank you.
Okay. Let me look. I'm looking. So essentially, we're trying to see if this what this relationship is with this entity.
Yeah, what this entity is, what's the,
Okay.
uh,
Okay. So a couple things. First thing, it feels absolutely parasitic to me, which is really interesting. It doesn't necessarily mean bad, but it feels parasitic. Um, and I kind of can't tell which one is the parasite, which is interesting. But there's something, I don't know, there's something. It's tit for tat. There's something really interesting here. The other thing I will say is either the entity is real or he believes the entity is real. And I'll go into weird stuff. I'll start talking about thought forms and
please
tulpas.
do.
I'll go into all
No,
that.
I really want the best information,
But
and
so basically for I'm going to try to give you a good rundown here for those of you who don't know. This is real woo-woo stuff that I'm about to talk about. So and I
great.
don't know that I necessarily believe or endorse it. It's just theories that are floating around out there. But a tulpa or a thought form is basically something where either one person or a group of people concentrates so much on something they create it, they make it. So you may believe the theory basically goes, let's just simplify it, is so you have a bunch of lunatic Christians, Trumpy Christians, and they're like, man, Satan is real, Satan is the devil, all that stuff. And because they're so invested in it, because they believe that it's such a real thing, they actually create a version of Satan. So when I say either this entity is real or this man created it, that's what I'm talking about, that he literally could have believed it's real from a very believable dream and actually created it for himself. Either way, this thing appears to be real to me. It appears to be legitimate. Yeah, it's a parasitic relationship. It's a little bit of show. This guy's a good showman. This guy knows what he's doing. He puts on a good show. So
Yes, he
he's
does.
got a whole vibe. He's got a whole show. He knows what he's doing. So that's a huge, huge part of it. It's like he's readable. He's very readable. He's basically telling me that he's felt like he had to have a gimmick. There's a part of it where he was like, I need the gimmick because nobody's paying attention otherwise. It's almost like spoon feeding people. Like, yeah, I know my music's good, but nobody is paying attention. So now here's this. But at the same time, the dream was real. Again, either he believes the entity is real or the entity is real. It does feel very parasitic to me. A lot of it, he loves this. This man feeds it. He loves it. He likes the shtick. He likes the whole deal. He likes all of it. People are really into it. He likes, you know what? This man likes creating an atmosphere. He loves the atmosphere. He loves the vibe. He's way more than a musician. I've never seen this band. I don't know who they are. I know nothing about them, but feels like their shows are almost like art installations. Like it
Oh
feels
yeah,
like
it's amazing.
yeah, everything that goes on, it's all of it is art. And I'll tell you this too. This man is very good at distinguishing what is show and what is real, but I don't think anybody else is. I think he's very, very good at it, but a lot of people around him, whether they're fans or people that know him, they blur the lines quite a bit. He's interesting. He's an interesting guy. He doesn't have bad vibes. He's got good vibes. He believes this entity is real. He really does. He really does. And like I said, it's either real or he believes it so thoroughly that it feels real. But there's something parasitic about the energy around it, which is very interesting. It doesn't feel like, hold on, I'm looking. It doesn't feel like bad. It doesn't feel evil. It doesn't feel any, but it does. Let me put it this way. Whatever this energy is this man is utilizing, I personally would not want to be involved in it. It's not hitting the high notes for me to use a music reference. I'm not saying it's bad by any means, but it's not resonating with me. That's not something I would want to mess with. Anything else? Any questions?
Because I get this sense that he is so easy to read on, which is, I think there actually is something there, and that's what I was picking up on. And I got that it isn't necessarily the usual. I find it really interesting that he didn't pick. It's like he didn't even name it after, like, Greek gods or something.
Right.
I mean, it's its own thing.
Uh-huh.
And whatever that kernel is, it feels very old to me.
Yep.
And it was willing to help him. And I think that it came to him, and I think it came to him because he is so open, because he does have a real, he's got some heavy duty mojo.
Yeah. Very, very open. Well, and I think also, this man has dabbled in occult stuff or something like that before as well. It wasn't like out of the clear blue sky. Like, either he has an interest in it, he's into stuff like that. And when I say occult, I mean all mystical, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Hidden knowledge. That's all occult means.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I don't know if it'd help you any. He's British.
Oh, is he British?
Yes.
My terrible British accent. And if I do it too long, it'll morph into Scottish and then Irish and then Italian. Very bad at accents. Yeah, no, I have to say, I'm not in love with it. It feels like an attachment to me. And that I am just, I'm of the aesthetic where I'm not interested in attachments, but
yeah.
Some people, like I said, it's a symbiotic relationship. It does, like I say, symbiotic, parasitic, kind of same right now, but it feels like something came when he was asleep and said, I'll attach to you and we'll hang out. And he was like, yeah, score it. Let's do that. But it doesn't feel, whatever this thing is, it's not a god. It's not a god. It's not, no. That's a mid-level spirit that's just like, let's groove together. And this guy was like, sure, let's do it. Yeah. And it feels like he's getting a lot from it.
Yeah.
I will say,
oh, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I get this feeling that, this is going to be a silly way to put it, but I'm getting this mental image, like his chakras are, I'm so sorry, the things on the cars that pop open.
Oh yeah.
The whatever that thing is on cars. It's like that. It's like this thing. He gets the euphoria of the spirituality, but it's like it helps keep those open more often.
They're open
so that he can channel more energy. And the whole point about the idea of a genius. The whole basis of the word is the idea that you are tapped in to the genii, the spirit, the inner, and that's what I get, is that this having something very strong spiritual thing of whatever high or low vibration, but having this spiritual thing near him, like, pops the chakras open so that he gets more inspiration and he gets more, and he channels more. He's actually able to channel more good energy, because this thing is anyway. That's what I picked up. I'm sorry.
And a lot of musicians, having spent many years around musicians, when they perform, those chakras are wide open. Because they're going to take in all that energy from the crowd. I've seen it a million times, and a lot of them don't know to shut them when you're done. They don't know. So they're just walking around with these blown open chakras and they're like, oh, yep, sure. Oh, that's coming. That's happening. That's happening. I do wonder about, this is like, we're totally skewing into other things, but I do wonder about, the correlation between musicians not having good energetic boundaries and having addiction problems. And I always wonder about, because a lot of musicians, especially, I read on them, I'm like, why are you, like, shield yourself? What are you doing? You're wide open. I can get right in there. I can see whatever I want.
Right.
And I think that might be because they're taking on so much energy all the time that it not obviously, I'm not saying this is the impetus for addiction, but I do wonder if there's a correlation between taking on so much energy and then a lot of musicians, I mean, they're kind of known for having those kinds of problems. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, if it would be a combination of they're under a lot of pressure to be creative, and I mean, also Miss Kirsten Langston here has some books out, has written some novels.
Do.
And and that's something that actually you and I have in common, that we've written novels, and from beginning to end, and actually put them out in the world. And there is, so that there is this feeling when you finish a book like nothing else.
Yeah.
Like you just want to start another book, because it's it's such a feeling of accomplishment, but a high, and then you go back, and like, one of the things I do to catch typos, because your brain will fill in what you think is supposed to be there. Yep. I'll have, Microsoft Word or whatever, read it to me. So, and I'm just sitting there washing dishes or what have you, and I'm just listening to, see what's there. And it's like, that's good. Oh, that was a good. Oh, that's funny. Because I don't feel 100%. I mean, it's my book and I did it, and it's mine. But at the same time, there's this part of that. There's almost like, there's a little bit of inspiration.
Oh yeah.
Going on. So sometimes when you go back, and then of course you're in this alpha state when you're writing. So then when you go back later, there's some things you'll run across. You're like, oh, that was good. Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah. I will just malign myself till the cows come home as far as writing.
You're amazing.
I do my best, but there are some things where I will forget that I wrote it, right? And you go back and you're like, okay, that all right, that's pretty good, and you
right.
You're like, all right, that was all right, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good, but you don't feel 100% like it's yours.
No. Like, where on earth did that come from? But see, I dream a lot. I'm like Stephen King. He also dreams a lot of what he writes. I dream a lot, and then I'll wake up and I'll write it down.
Wow. I wish I could. I've never had that. But go ahead.
I never used to really, I remember some dreams, but I took this class in college a million years ago, and it was a dream interpretation class, and he got us writing our dreams down every night. And now I mean, years later, I'm like, oh yeah, yep, I got it. I wake up with like 4 of them, and I'll have to write them all down immediately, but I can remember them now, I remember all of them, which is sometimes not convenient, but yeah.
Yep. But moving forward. You become an audience to your own work. Visualize 70. Yes. So, Amy says they were really nice. My boyfriend at the time was in a band that opened for them. Oh, are you talking about Sleep Token? Everyone says they're nice guys.
Yeah, they feel good to me.
Yeah, the main thing they do is they, like, before shows, they're playing video games. They're just, they're not, this isn't, David Lee Roth and, those guys from back in the day. No, the Clash. Oh, wow.
The Clash, open for the Clash. That's amazing.
Dang. Whew.
Yeah, that's really amazing. That's one band I wish I had. There's a couple of them. I never saw Bowie, which I wish I had seen Bowie. I wish I had seen The Clash. I did see the Rolling Stones right before Charlie Watts passed away. I got a nice reputation for being a Black Widow for a hot minute because I went and saw Tom Petty. I saw his last show before he died. I saw one of the last shows before Charlie Watts died, and I saw Lemmy from Motorhead. I saw Motorhead maybe 3 shows before Lemmy died. So for a while, my friends were like, you can't go to any more shows." I mean, Tom Petty was really young, but yeah, they're going, nope, you can't go to any more. You're just killing everyone.
That's good.
They were so nice when I met them. That's amazing, Amy. That's so cool. You saw David Bowie. He was awesome. Yeah, I'm bummed I miss Bowie.
Lewis says, don't sing. What do you mean?
Oh, no.
I wasn't going to, but what should I do? Oh. Lewis, that wasn't very nice. Oh no, I've blown raspberries at Lewis a few times, so he just you know. The only people I've seen were it was in the early 90s. I knew some people who could go down to New Orleans, and whoever was around there, and it's like smaller bands from like the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I saw Susie Sue. That was good.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, she's amazing. But the Pet Shop Boys were surprisingly good.
I believe that.
Yeah, and 9 Inch Nails, of course. Their last, their last stop on the Downward Spiral tour in New Orleans. So
wow.
Yeah, and that was just crazy. But no, it's okay. I just want to throw this out there. Because I went to LSU for a while in Baton Rouge, and I liked in the early 90s. Early 90s. I liked all kinds of music, but I was overseas when Pretty Hate Machine came out by 9 Inch Nails. Oh, wow. So I didn't know it existed.
Oh, wow.
So I was going to college, and someone was like, oh yeah, Pretty Hate Machine, this, 9 Inch Nails. And I'm like, who? They're like, who?
Right.
And so they were
huge.
Yeah. And, I'm to this day, I'm a David Sylvian fan. I mean, we're talking about wildly different. So that, and then Trent took on Brian Warner.
Uh-huh.
Marilyn Manson to anybody else. But took on him and his band and all of that. And I went down in Baton Rouge, I went down to the record store near the university, and I was buying a bunch of stuff. And there were a whole bunch of Marilyn Manson and all this kind of stuff, and posters everywhere. Oh, and the guy who worked there, who owned the shop, he just looked at me. He said, "Do not hang out with those guys." Whoa. And I was like, I wasn't planning on it. He's like, yeah, well, they're down in New Orleans because that's where Trent had moved. He had moved to New Orleans.
Oh, that's right. He did move to New Orleans. I remember
that.
Right.
So you had Trent Reznor and Anne Rice in New Orleans at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. And so they were down there, and there were these certain clubs that they would go to and what have you. I had no interest. But this guy was like, no, you don't understand. Do not hang out with those guys. Oh, and I was like,
God,
I wasn't planning on it, but okay, I'll keep that in mind. Okay, to give you a sense of the world that this guy, because he owned a record store in the early 90s, so he knew the stuff. And I love he and his wife had a baby, and they named him Severin.
Oh.
Is it Severin? There was a book called Venus and Furs.
Uh-huh. Yep.
The character.
Yep.
And I'm just like, and it was just, when I heard that, it was like, great, awesome. And nobody's going to, very few people are going to know that's what it's a reference to. But okay,
You and I do.
whatever you're into, but boy, he was adamant, and I'm, I wouldn't have, but I'm glad I didn't. Good
Yeah.
night.
Well, Brian Warner, terrible energies, always had terrible mood. I actually saw him live when he was, we're just talking about music now. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But I saw him live when he went on tour with Courtney Love. I think it was mid or late 90s. And it was right before, like, because they hated each other. Well-known, they hated each other, Courtney Love and he did not get along. But they teamed up for this tour. And she actually quit the tour because he was such a piece of garbage. She was like, nope, I'm out of here. I don't care. I'm leaving. But I saw him perform. And I at the time, I was just at a concert, right? You're just at a show. Mm-hmm. But upon reflection, I was like, that man had some of the worst vibes I've ever seen. And the crowd had terrible vibes. And Courtney, she opened. So she went, they were co-headlining, but she opened and she was screaming at the guys in the crowd because they were grabbing women. I mean, they still do it now, but they were grabbing women. She was screaming, guys, get off her, get away from her, where's security, get these guys. I mean, it was just gross.
Yeah. And he said he was into Satanism and that kind of thing, but it was the what was that guy's name? LaVey?
Oh yeah, Anton LaVey. Yeah,
Anton LaVey. The guy's seriously. And I know there are good people who are libertarians, but to me, Anton LaVey just gave ultra libertarian in a red cape.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time.
That's it. That's it.
Not only that, but he had to find a way to make a living without actually working. And so he said, I will live in the hate and paint my house black and hold black masses there. And that man made a lot of money doing that.
But then, of course, his 13-year-old daughter became pregnant. It's like,
yeah.
And this was and then Anton LaVey had books where he wrote about how to attract attention, how to keep attention, the psychological manipulation, and Brian Warner just ate all that up.
Oh yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
I mean, there were literal specific things he would wear, like the pantyhose.
Uh-huh.
And because I think LaVey had said you can go to a strip club. I can't believe I'm talking about this on my channel. Anyway, he said you can go to a strip club, and back in the day, and there can be women over there practically naked doing their best, but your eye will go to the woman sitting at the bar with her legs crossed because you can see just a little bit of her stockings.
Uh-huh.
Or you can see just a little bit of, and so then Manson shows up and he's got the whole thing about the stockings and all that. So where there's the specific things that he would wear or that he would, and I was just like, okay. All right. So, whenever this whole talk about that Satan, I just don't get it. I don't get it in the sense of, I mean, obviously I don't agree with it, but what I'm saying is I don't think he was tapped into anything.
Oh no, not at all. No. That guy was like, all right, let's see what I can do. Like that was a business.
Yep.
That was a business for him. And I think he was probably just a piece of trash that wanted to live like a piece of trash, quite frankly.
Yeah. So do you know of any other musicians who are openly spiritual in an unusual, not just like, oh, I'm Catholic and therefore,
right.
Because the other one I always think about is Tori Amos.
Oh yeah.
Talking about her muses.
Yes, and the fairies. She's very big on the fairies and the whole deal. She's one of my favorite artists of like all time.
Yep.
And
And
she was, well, she lived in Ireland for a long time, and she was like, I see the fairies, I can see them, I can see the little people, I see all of it. She'd been very open about it.
and she's talked about how when she would do like certain things that she recorded, she could feel the muses, and like
Huh?
like a multitude, but she has
Huh?
these muses, and she could feel them, and then later on they could never reproduce that exact thing that they had recorded.
Yep. Oh yeah, 100%. Oh, Lewis says, I was talking about the story of musicians dying after Kirsten heard them. Oh, he doesn't want me to kill you.
Oh.
Don't think Kirsten will murder you. Black Widow. Yeah, right.
Nettie said Creed is a spiritual band. They were, but I think there's a certain. I guess maybe I'm not talking about Christianity, if that makes any sense. I mean, I think I'm talking about more the. I guess that's why I was just thinking more the Tori Amos and Sleep Token.
Jim Morrison, didn't he say that he was like, I mean, I know he's on a lot of drugs, obviously, but wasn't he one of the ones also that was like, I'm channeling otherworldly stuff here?
I thought that was just the it isn't this. It's more,
The
I don't even know what to
imbibing.
do. No, I'm just, it's like, it wasn't cigarettes and it wasn't that. It was the other stuff that he was smoking.
Yeah.
I thought it was that. Lynette says Stevie Nicks and Florence and the Machine.
Oh yeah, Stevie Nicks.
Well, she's always had that ethereal.
Yeah, that's her whole vibe.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, then the last thing,
their bands, I love it. Everybody in your chat is like just going crazy on the band stuff. I love it.
Excellent. So yeah, we usually just talk about politics, but this I really wanted, because I knew you'd be open to it.
Oh, I love
and
it.
You're so good.
Thank you.
I am curious. Then I have one other question, just very quickly, about Sleep Token. What's going to happen?
You know, they're never going to hit it massively huge, commercially huge. But I feel like this band, they might change out a few members at some point. How would you know? They all wear masks and they have no names. So we would never know anyway. But it feels like they carve out where they are, they stay where they are, and this band is going to go for a very long time, I think.
Oh, that's good. I'm sorry. I was more specifically talking about Sleep.
Oh, nothing. I feel like it's same deal, same. Just everybody's doing what they've been doing and continuing to do. Although I do feel like at some point this singer is going to have a crisis and be like, "Oh, I lost it. I lost my mojo. I lost." Maybe he feels like he's lost sleep, but that doesn't happen for a while yet. But no, feels like everything for them is just same trajectory. Sleep, same trajectory. The relationship he has with whatever this is, same trajectory. I don't see things getting different, better, worse. I feel like it's all going right down the road.
Yeah, that's basically what I was getting. The thing I have picked up is, for what it's worth, is that it is doing them good if they are not taking the substances. And the less substances they take for the longest amount of time, if they can even avoid that whole thing, because some could. Even Adam Ant did not drink or do drugs.
Yeah.
Ever. He grew up with it in his father or family or something, and he was like, no, I'll never do that. And he'd kick people out of the band. But the more sober they can stay, I'm of course I'm getting beer and all this kind of stuff, but the more sober they can stay, and he can stay, the more success he's going to have, the more good he's going to do, the more stuff he's going to be able to create.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Stay sober.
Yeah, I agree completely. Well, I don't really subscribe to the whole substances will bring in demons and all. It's not my
Mhm.
worldview. It's not my experience. But whatever you're imbibing, and even sometimes I feel like different food will do it, but it puts you in a different energy space. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
just you're not in the same space you were, which is actually why I like to do drunk tarot, because I am a very reluctant medium. So a couple of sips of champagne and I'm like, okay, I can talk to the dead people now. Like, it puts me in a space. But
That's
if
not what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about a beer or champagne
right,
or
no,
a
I know,
glasses of wine. Okay.
right, no, but I feel like this sleep, whatever it is, it's like a band of energy that if there is routine imbibing of things that are not, what do we want,
Better living through chemistry, or in this case, worse living through chemistry.
thank you, okay, yeah,
Worse living through chemistry.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If sleep is up here and your worst living through chemistry is down here, you're not going to find sleep. You're not going to get up there anymore.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. Record company's perspective: drugs are a handy leash and a handy bridle and saddle. That's true.
Oh,
Okay,
Jana,
how did we go from talk of politics to music?
no, I just took a total veer off in the other direction, just to
I like
ask
it.
about Sleep Token, because I was so curious, because I was actually picking up. It's like, one, wildly talented, wildly talented.
I'm gonna have to check them out.
But also I was like, there's something there, because usually if somebody's got a shtick, it's like,
Yeah, you can
nice.
tell.
That's
Not like
that's
Marilyn
lovely.
Manson. You can tell. You
Yeah,
can tell.
nothing.
Yeah, nothing there.
No.